So the demonstration of this week's lab is actually not too hard. We have here the setup, and notice that I have rotated the board, as I mentioned in the briefing, so that the joystick is here closest to me and the LEDs are further away. That means that this is the up LED, the right LED, the bottom down LED, and the left LED. And so you can see that we've got the connections made to the joystick here, and the original program that's given in the lab handout simply turns on the top LED or the up LED if you push it away. So notice then that the left and right really aren't doing anything. You'll modify the program so that it does not only up but also down. And so you'll see the up and down. Notice that this LED over here will also light. That's just pin 13 has an LED built into the board, so you can sort of just ignore that, and what we're really looking at is just the LEDs over here on the breadboard. And notice that the very first task that you'll do is just to be able to reflect it up and down. You will then want to modify the code so that it adds horizontal as well as vertical. And so as that one's loading, we can now go up and then right and then down and then left and then up. And so as you go around, you can light up each of those LEDs. Notice that if you go to the corner, you can light both of them up at the same time. And so here I'm lighting these up at the same time, sort of going to the southeast, and then down here. It turns out that between the way that the code is written and the actual imperfections in the joystick, I can't light both of those at the same time. But that's actually a good point to notice. Look how far I have to move the joystick and before it'll turn on the LEDs. It's moving quite a distance before especially to the left here. I'm really having to move it quite a lot to the left and quite a lot down before it'll turn on. So then the third version of the code, the one that is calibrated, and I've included a small dead zone in this calibration. Here now I'm not going to have to move the joystick nearly as much. Look at how quickly it responds. When I move even slightly in any of the directions, now I'm going to be able to see that the LED is going to turn on. And it's much easier to turn on both of them at the same time, even for the one that I couldn't before, because we're accounting for the fact that this is not perfectly centered. It's not in the perfect 512 location that I have to determine what that is when I first start the code. So as soon as I initialize the code, the setup function is going to read the values of the left, right, and the up, down, and it's going to adjust it so that the rest of the code is going to use those values.